Good evening. The first time we meet a man named Barnabas, he's introduced to us back in Acts chapter 4, verses 36 and 37. We learn that his name originally was called Joseph or Joseph, but the apostles called him Barnabas, which means son of encouragement. Undoubtedly, this name was given to him because he was a strong encourager to others. Barnabas was Jewish, and we don't know exactly when he became a follower of Christ, but we do know from Acts chapter 4, verse 37, that he owned some land, he sold it, and he brought the money, and he laid it at the apostles' feet. The next time we read about Barnabas is in Acts chapter 9, verse 26 and 27. And we believe that he's still in Jerusalem at this time, despite the mayhem that was caused by Saul, which prompted many of the disciples to flee and to hide. But it appears that Barnabas remained there with the apostles despite the trauma that was going on. You will recall that after Saul was converted on the road to Damascus, he returned to Jerusalem and he tried to join with the disciples there. And in Acts 9:26 says the Christians in Jerusalem were all afraid of him, and they did not believe that he was a disciple. Understandably, they wanted to keep their distance from Saul. But there was one man, and apparently only one man, who stepped forward to assist Saul. It was Barnabas, the son of encouragement, who took Saul and brought him to the apostles. He testified on Saul's behalf of his conversion experience and his subsequent preaching endeavor at Damascus. And with the support of Barnabas, the apostles then welcomed Saul, so that he was with them at Jerusalem. He went in and went out, as we read in Acts chapter 9, 28. And then finally, in our Bible reading this week, we're reading in Acts chapter 11. In verses 19 through 30, we find the third reference to Barnabas. A spiritual revival has broken out in Antioch, so the church in Jerusalem sent out this same Barnabas to see what was happening in Antioch. So let's now pick up the reading in Acts chapter 11, verses 22 through 24, to see what happened with Barnabas' trip to Antioch. The news of these things came to the ears of the church in Jerusalem, and they sent out Barnabas to go as far as Antioch. When he came and had seen the grace of God, he was glad, and he encouraged them all that with purpose of heart they should continue with the Lord. For he was a good man, full of the Holy Spirit and of faith, and a great many people were added to the Lord. So Barnabas had then left Antioch, and he went to Tarsus, Saul's hometown. He went looking for Saul. He found Saul, and he brought him back to Antioch, where they ministered together there and labored together for about a year. But hearing of the word of a great famine that was coming, the disciples at Antioch decided to send relief to the Christians in Judea. And it was this same Barnabas and Saul that were chosen to deliver the relief goods to those Christians, and they did so faithfully. So what's the point of this review of Barnabas? Well, the point is that there's a lot to like about this man, Barnabas. It's been said by some that if you flatter me, I may not believe you. If you criticize me, I may not like you. But if you encourage me, I will never forget you. And without a doubt, this man Barnabas, the son of encouragement, will always be remembered for his support for and encouragement of the saints. And brethren, despite whether we're young or we're old or we're rich or we're poor or we're educated or uneducated, all of us can do this one thing, and that is we can build one another up. We can encourage one another in support of love and good works. You know, we're very fortunate in this congregation of ours that we have some pretty good examples of Barnabas right here amongst us. We can learn from them as well as from Barnabas himself, the great example that he provided to us. Hebrews chapter 10, 23 and 24 says, "Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful, and let us consider one another in order to stir up love and good works." Let's all see how we can encourage and build up one another in love and good works, just like Barnabas did. If you need to respond to the gospel tonight, please come now as we stand.